Beautiful evening for football here in San Diego, California, and we've got a great matchup for you tonight on Game Time. Torrey Pines hosting Oceanside live at Torrey Pines High School. Good evening, everyone. Jeff Kurtz alongside Dale Hellestray. Dale, we've got a great matchup tonight, an Avocado League matchup between two teams that are very familiar with each other over the last number of years. Torrey Pines hosting Oceanside this evening. Oceanside walking in with a record of 2-4. Torrey Pines in a little bit better place right now in Avocado League play, Dale.
They are, and it's going to be interesting to see the contrasting matchups you're going to see tonight. Different offenses and different defenses, so it'll be fun to see what transpires.
Oceanside's led by head coach David Rodriguez, who's bringing this team into tonight's game and coaching in the shadow of John Carroll, longtime head coach for Oceanside High School, led the team to 13 CIF San Diego section championships over his tenure, the most of any coach. Coach Rodriguez in his third year certainly has his work cut out for him carrying on the Oceanside tradition.
Well, and that's the thing. It is a big-time tradition there at Oceanside. Struggling a little bit this year. You see his record there. I have a feeling things will get better as time goes along.
But one of the big players for Oceanside is Donovan Laie, a big lineman who's an outstanding player for the Oceanside Pirates, and he's going to make a lot of noise in the interior for Oceanside tonight.
He is. This is a player I'm excited to see. You see how big he is. He's agile. He's hostile. All good terms when you're a lineman. He will be fun to watch tonight.
Donovan Laie, who's getting a lot of looks from a number of D1 colleges, including locally San Diego State. But we talk about how he's going to have to carry a heavy load. There are a number of injuries on this Oceanside team, a lot of key players down, including 3 offensive linemen. It's going to make the work a lot more difficult for Oceanside.
Well, it is, because you're going up against an offense that you don't see very often in high school football anymore.
Now let's talk about the Torrey Pines Falcons and head coach Ron Gladnick in his 4th year guiding this Torrey Pines squad. They run the wing T here at Torrey Pines, an offense you don't see as much anymore, Dale, but they run it very, very well.
They do. They're very disciplined. It's really a hurry-up wing T. Excited to see it because you do not see it in high school football anymore, really, on any level, but they can sure run the football.
And 2 of the guys that make this magic happen for the Torrey Pines wing T offense are the wingmen, they call them here, Sully O'Brien and Mac Bingham. They are very good athletes, not only excelling in football, Sully excels in lacrosse. Mac is a very good baseball player.
Yeah, you see the numbers there. They're both going to play a big part in tonight's game. Excited to watch them with the ball in their hands.
Well, we're going to get a great look at both of these young players and all these young athletes today as Oceanside Torrey Pines set to kick off in just a few moments. But before that, we're going to go get some information from Gordon Spencer about what's happening with the playoff standings, and then Dale will come back with his keys to the game. That's all coming up here on the break as Game Time on YurView continues after this.
I can't hold this up.
You know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
There's an easier way to watch live TV away from your home. Get the Contour app from Cox. Now, one simple app gives you the freedom to watch many of your Cox TV favorites on your phone, tablet, or laptop, wherever you want. So you can take your TV with you, without taking your TV. The Contour app. Get right to the good stuff. Anywhere.
Back here at Torrey Pines High School, game time on YurView. Let's bring in the third member of our team, Gordon Spencer, who's going to talk about the playoff implications of this game for both Oceanside and Torrey Pines. Gordon?
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, homecoming-like atmosphere, a very party-like atmosphere at Torrey Pines High School, and also a playoff atmosphere. You talk to the coaches, and they say every game in this Avocado League is a must-win game. Let's take a look at the Avocado League standings as we head into this one. Mission Hills and La Costa Canyon, the top two teams in the league and in Division One. Then San Marcos with the one loss on the season. Then Torrey Pines with one less league game. They finish with 3 straight league games to end the season, including the top two teams, Mission Hill and La Costa Canyon. So they've got their work cut out to end this league season. Oceanside, 2 more league games after tonight, El Camino and La Costa. They have been in every game except for that top seed Mission Hills game. Now every team will be in the playoffs in Division One. There's 20 teams. Now the top 8 will go into the Elite Division, and then the number 9 team in Division One will be the number 1 seed. So the good news is a lot of the teams, all of the teams in the Avocado League should make the playoffs. And again, every game feels like the playoffs in this league. Let's go back upstairs.
Gordon, thank you very much. Dale, let's turn our attention to the keys to tonight's game. These two teams, especially Oceanside, walking in with all those injuries, but what do you, in your mind, is going to be critical for both Oceanside or Torrey Pines to come away with a win tonight?
Obviously, it's a rival game. You know, Gordon talked about the atmosphere here tonight, an Avocado League game. Time possession. Really excited to see this wing T offense. You don't see it very often. Can Oceanside slow that down? And then injury. You got 5 starters out for Oceanside. Can they cover for those losses? You know, you say next man up. Well, eventually you run out of that next man.
Well, we'll see how Oceanside responds on the road tonight, no less. We're going to take one final break here on Game Time and then come back with the opening kickoff, an Avocado League matchup. Torrey Pines hosting Oceanside. Back with more after this.
Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you can, like, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
James, we both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1, devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2, homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink, just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Back at Torrey Pines High School, the annual tradition, the Falcons emerge for the game through the crowd coming out of the bleachers here at Torrey Pines High School.
What a spectacular setting for a high school football game, a gorgeous campus. Although it didn't play to my strengths. It was about a mile walk up a hill to get to the stadium, but I feel I got my cardio working here.
You got to earn the time in the broadcast booth tonight, Dale. Homecoming as well here at Torrey Pines High School, and it is a beautiful night for football here in San Diego. We have had a lot of hot weather in the area recently, but It was 70 degrees as the sun was dropping down comfortably in the 60s. It's perfect fall weather for a football game.
It is, especially for the big guys. The big guys appreciate the coolness of the weather, the jazz band before the game, singing a little Sweet Caroline, getting the crowd in the mood, and what a great turnout for the game this evening.
Here's tonight's injury report. As we mentioned, Oceanside dealing with those 5 starters out. 3 of them offensive linemen. Jonathan Segui out with a collarbone injury. Keelan Doosan also out with a collarbone injury. Josh Garcia, he's got a knee problem. Mason Buchek, a foot issue. And Moses Taili is dealing with a knee issue. Meanwhile, Michael Perrone, the best defensive lineman for Torrey Pines, he's out with a leg injury, a pulled hamstring. So you've got major injuries to key players on both sides.
Well, as I talked about earlier, the fact is, yeah, you have some backups, but when you're going to backups of backups, it's really hard to expect the same type of performance out of those young guys.
Yeah, Buchek, Tawili, and Garcia, those 3 offensive linemen, Dale. I mean, you're right. Eventually you start running out of bodies. And not only that, but you start moving people around in the offensive line. Guys have been playing left guard all year. Now they're playing right guard. I mean, you got to get your head wrapped around that a little bit differently as an offensive lineman.
And a lot of people think, well, if you're a guard, you can play left or right. If you're a tackle, you can play left or right. But there are different steps, different hand placements. There is a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye.
You're driving on the right side of the road in the U.S. and you go to Europe, you're driving on the left side. You got to do a little more thinking, and that's what Oceanside is asking some of their offensive linemen to do this evening. Well, as we get ready for tonight's game and we look at what's on the line for both of these teams, Gordon touched on it in the open where the Avocado League, every game is a playoff-level game. I mean, both of these teams have been in a number of playoff games, and Torrey Pines was the Avocado League champion last year, so they certainly have a lot of experience, as does a lot of history on the Oceanside sideline as well. We're going to step away here and take you now to the national anthem. outstanding performance by the Torrey Pines High School Choir. Dale, as a former NFL player with the Dallas Cowboys, does it still get goosebumps on your arms every time you hear the national anthem prior to a football game like this, thinking about your own experiences and getting ready to play?
It's amazing how many times I've heard that. It means the same today, if not more so than it did the first time I heard it before a game. So gets you excited. You know it's game time. These players are ready to go. They've been waiting a long time to get this game kicked off.
The team's taking the field. Torrey Pines is going to be kicking off. They're in those black jerseys, the black pants, the red helmets. They'll be going right to left across your screen. Oceanside, the white jerseys, green lettering, white pants, white helmets. The Pirate insignia on the side. Getting set to kick off is Tanner Wyant for Torrey Pines. Armin Vasili back to receive along with Dylan York for Oceanside. And this one is going to go over York's head into the end zone for a touchback. And the Pirates will have the football with a long field in front of them. Let's look at the starting lineups first for the Oceanside offense. And again, the shuffling along that offensive line. We'll see how the offense responds. Also, a new quarterback back there for Oceanside this week, Kyron Beecham, who's usually a wideout, but is being pressed into service at quarterback. What do you think about that, Dale?
Well, obviously you could try and get something going here. Maybe a little wildcat, run the football a little bit more.
Here's Beecham on first down around the right-hand side, just like you said, running a little bit more with Beecham. A nice gain on first down, gets another first down. Kyron Beecham, starting quarterback tonight for Oceanside, a great athlete, and we'll see how he does. How do you think Oceanside's going to deploy him this week?
Well, obviously you can run the football. He's got 16 more catches than he has throws this year, and he can also carry the football, 326 yards rushing.
Quick pass near side. Short game on first down, as that's Malachi Tuua with the catch. Let's look at the Torrey Pines defensive units. And they are anchored by Louis Biquette, the strong side linebacker.
Yeah, I played with his father in a couple All-Star games. We came out in 1985 together. He went to USC, and looks like his son is following in his footsteps.
Dwayne Biquette on the coaching staff for Torrey Pines here on second down around the left-hand side. Biquette played for the Colts and Seahawks in his NFL career. A lot of NFL pedigrees on both sidelines in the coaching staffs. Third and short coming up.
Talking with David Rodriguez earlier this week, you're just saying, how are you going to overcome those injuries? And obviously, you're going to say everything right as a coach, but I think number one, they've got to put drives together. They've got to eat up the clock a little bit, give those defensive guys a little bit of rest, those guys that aren't going both ways. Plus, it's easier to play offense.
Beecham's going to keep it. He was running the option. He's got the first down and will step out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Nice decision by Beecham.
You see Beecham, and 6 foot, 170 pounds. He looks a lot bigger from up here. A little run pass option. He has that option. Knew how far he had to get for the first down. Made the smart decision. Pick up the first down. Move the chains. Keep this drive going.
Michael Lennon was the trail man there, but Beecham did a nice job selling like he might pitch to the outside, picking up that first down ball at the 46-yard line. If you're just joining us, opening possession of the game for Oceanside. Beecham on the fake, then keeps it himself. More positive yardage, pushing into Torrey Pines territory. A nice gain on first down.
You gotta love, a guy who can just make stuff up as he's going along here. Watch Beecham. He's going to go to his right, and he's going to act like he's going to pitch the ball. But guess what? There's nobody to pitch to. But yet he gets the defensive outside linebacker to bite.
There's a loss on second down as the handoff goes to Michael Lennon. He's going to lose yardage back to midfield. Third and long coming up.
Talk about this offense, and they've done some nice things so far. I think this is what we're going to see from Oceanside probably all night long. They're going to take some time in the huddle. They're going to try and shorten the game by running the football, having that play clock run, and giving this Torrey Pines team less opportunities on offense.
3rd and 6. Beecham rolls out left. No, and he had an open receiver down the field right in the pocket of Elijah Fasili on that side, but he couldn't hang on to it.
What a nice throw by Beecham. And if you're going to be a Wildcat quarterback, you've got to throw enough to keep the defense honest. Now, he's rolling to his left, throwing across his body, and look at the accuracy of that throw. Very, very impressive. I think everybody thought, hey, all Beecham's going to do is run the football. Well, he can do both.
Fasili a little frustrated with himself after that. He had a good look at that football, Dale. Would have been a nice first down. Instead, 4th down. And Beecham's going to step back. We could see and now we got all kinds of movement as that's going to go against Oceanside likely, and they'll push him 5 yards back.
Step infraction. 53.
Our officials for tonight: David Sabet, Shanta Simmons, Eric Bryan, Michael Kingsley, and Kevin Floquette. First penalty of the game, and now Oceanside's going to send in the whole special teams package instead of leaving Beecham out there.
Well, you're right at midfield. You're an underdog. You're wondering if they're going to go for it. Leaves a little doubt in your mind if you're Torrey Pines, but at 4th and 10, you've got to punt the ball.
Lucas Solberg will be punting for Oceanside. Peter Nelson back to receive. This one might have been partially deflected. Takes a Pirates roll, however, and will be down around the Falcon 32-yard line. 22 net yards on that punt. And there was some good pressure applied there by Torrey Pines.
Well, it started with a snap that bounced at about 12. And watch how 4 dark jerseys come right up the middle, and they all missed it. They all missed it. Nice job concentrating, getting your foot on the ball, and get the ball down the field a little bit.
Solberg did a good job fielding that short hop. Let's look at Torrey Pines' offense tonight. And again, Sully O'Brien and Mac Bingham will be keeping an eye on those guys because they will handle the ball quite a bit, taking handoffs from Jason Hine.
Yeah, we talked about them in the open, and you're going to see an offense that you don't see at any level of football. Looks like it's an unsportsmanlike call against that Oceanside team, and obviously we couldn't see it from up here, but very rarely do you see an unsportsmanlike conduct call on a punt that's not even touched by the returning team.
That's going to put the Falcons at their own 47-yard line, and we'll get our first look at quarterback Jason Hine, who does an outstanding job directing this offense. He doesn't have to throw too often, but he is outstanding with ball deception, which is a drill that Torrey Pines does a lot during the offseason. Here's a handoff right side and a nice gain on first down. And let's take a look at the Oceanside Pirates defense, who they do have their work cut out for them tonight.
You see big number 75 right there, Donovan Laie. Keep an eye on him. As you mentioned, kid who's got a bunch of Division I offers, going to be all over the football field.
Johnny Egler as well, as you get your look at him. Gain of 7 on that first down for Torrey Pines. The handoff should be enough for a first down. Carry on the play for Mac Bingham.
Well, what's interesting is you watch this offense. You talked about that item drill. They actually go into the gymnasium and they practice that. Not live, not against the defense, but coach stands as a linebacker on defense, and he said, I don't want to know where the ball's going. And the other thing is they huddle up, but look how quick they get up the line of scrimmage and run a play.
The goal is within 4 seconds of breaking the huddle. Hine's going to keep it himself, bounce to the outside, and another good gain on first down, 8, maybe 9 yards.
The thing about the wing team, okay, you got guys going in every which direction, and what happens is you get frustrated as a defensive player because you tackle somebody you thought had the ball, he doesn't have the ball. You do that play after play, and then all of a sudden you get out of your discipline, you get out of your gap, and then you make mistakes, and that's when they make you pay.
Well, look at that. Hine averaging close to 8 yards a carry. He picked up 8 on first down. Now we got a penalty marker on the field.
encroachment, number 12 on defense.
Torrey Pines is going to pick up the first down the easy way. And that's where you point to defensively, frustrations. Now you're trying to jump the snap count and see if you can make a play.
Well, again, it's interesting. They huddle up. Quarterback comes over and gets the play. Center's up on the ball. Look how quick they're up there ready to run a play.
Quick handoff up the middle. This is Bingham taking it down to the 20-yard line. Another 9 yards on that carry. Already 3 penalties, Dale, against Oceanside for 25 yards.
Going to be right up the middle. Really nice block there by the center, Jacob Rabb, 265-pound senior, getting some movement on the defensive tackle, handing the ball off, picking up 9 yards on first down.
Handoff left-hand side, another Falcon first down, heading for the corner and knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Goes O'Brien. Boy, this offense is just picking up a ton of yards on every carry.
Really impressive, this offensive line. Brown and Speedle, the 2 guards, getting out in front, leading that play. Fun to watch.
Bingham back in the backfield. Now O'Brien in motion as well. They're going to give it to Bingham, and he's going to get in easily. And Torrey Pines, on their first possession of the game, drives down the field, gets a touchdown. Good start for the Falcons.
Well, and if you're Oceanside, you're sitting here looking at this offense. Again, talking to the coaches earlier this week. You know, you get your offensive scout team to try and emulate Torrey Pines' offense. They're not good at it because they don't ever do it. You don't ever see it. So you see teams struggle against this wing T, especially early in football games.
The extra point good. Bingham, his 12th touchdown rushing this season. Great start for the Falcons, up 7-0 here at home on homecoming night against Oceanside. We'll be back in just a moment with more from Torrey Pines High School.
You guys, you know, we need the city of San Diego because they're gonna make us great. Everything that we're gonna do is everything that we would have loved to receive when we were playing football. And that's what we're gonna give them. So we make sure that the next American soccer player is like top of the world. Did you hear who's coming?
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
A nice 6-play, 53-yard drive taking 3 minutes and 7 seconds has given Torrey Pines an early lead here in the first quarter. Festive crowd on hand. Homecoming dance after this.
You know what I always thought is when you play high school football, you think all these people are here to see you. And then you get older and you realize it's really kind of the mall, but at the high school, and it's a place to gather and cheer when everybody else cheers.
Wyatt kicking off, and York doesn't even move. Like a left fielder watching the ball sail over his head for a home run. He watches this go into the back of the end zone for another touchback, and once again, Oceanside at their own 20-yard line.
Just always remember in high school football, for safety precautions, the ball crosses the goal line, it's blown dead.
I wonder if we'll see a move at the high school level to, like the NFL, putting it at the 25-yard line down there.
I think they're always tinkering.
There's those stats. Mac Bingham, the 1-yard touchdown run. Beecham's going to throw underneath. Pass complete. His first completion of the evening. And enough for a first down out near the 34-yard line. But we have a penalty marker down the near side of the field. Closest to us. Looks like they're
I tell you what, this is just an absolutely fantastic play. Read option, then you have the pass, you're reading that outside linebacker, and Steens leaned up a little bit to stop the run, throw the ball right in behind him. Great quick decision making by Kyron Beecham.
Good to see Facili, who came back from dropping that ball earlier, making a nice catch in traffic there, getting the first down. The officials picking up the flag, so no penalty on the play. Beecham going to roll right. A lot of black jerseys in his face, looking down the field, looking for someone to throw to. No one's going long, and Beecham is going to be sacked. He was trying to send Facili deep, and he might have had him there, Dale, but Facili didn't read the signals quite the same way.
Just got to be careful. You see Rab there, the senior offensive defensive lineman. Has a chance to get outside here, but be careful with that football, and then you have to understand, hey, when's the time to go down? When is the time to fight for extra yardage? You don't need to take an extra hit right there. Get down on the ground.
Loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Michael Stearns ending up with the sack. Handoff running right side. Short gain. Out near the 38-yard line. Carry on the play for Lennon.
Boy, you see some potential with this Oceanside offense, especially with Beecham at quarterback. Just good old counter. Look at that block, number 52 for Oceanside. Logo.
Yeah, the logo with a nice block. Good job coming up on the tackle, Ryan Cesare. Handoff running left here on 3rd down. Not much cooking on that one for Oceanside, as Tua is going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Little shovel pass, a safe play, brings up 4th down. See if you can't get that defensive end running upfield, and that shovel pass can come underneath and sneak out there for the 1st down.
4th down, and the punting unit on for the 2nd time. Solberg, who had to field a 1-hop the last time. Better snap here. It's a kick away. Good pressure by the Falcons. This is going to take a Pirates roll inside the Falcon 20-yard line. Down around the 18. Nice kick by Solberg.
Of course, these artificial turf fields, you get a little top spin on that. The ball continues to roll. Nice job flipping field position and making this Torrey Pines offense have to go the length of the field.
That's a 43-yard punt for Solberg, so a nice comeback after his first one went 22. So Torrey Pines will start out their own 18-yard line here on their 2nd possession. But the Falcons were ripping off 7-8 yards a pop on 1st down carries. We'll see if they can continue that on their 2nd drive. As here's a big hole, hurdling a defender and getting a 1st down. We got a penalty marker thrown in there as well at the end of the play. That was Bingham showing off his athleticism.
Where's the end of the run?
So now we've got the officials huddling up and discussing this call. So our officials talking this over right now, Dale. It could be a conversation about the hurdle Bingham had on the defender. In California, you can't hurdle in certain situations if the player is laying out. To tackle you, you can try to jump him if he goes low, but if he's coming in straight up and you try to go over him, you can't do that. And I think that's what they're calling here against Torrey Pines.
Why does football try and make it so difficult? Either hurdling's a penalty or hurdling's not a penalty. It's what you can't, when you're running full speed, go, oh, he's diving at my ankles, I'm going to hurdle. Oh no, he's staying up. I just don't understand why they put so much pressure on the officials when they could just make that very easy. You hurdle, we're putting it in for safety precautions. It's a personal foul.
Well, this is going to push the Falcons back to their own 14-yard line. As it is marched off from the spot of the infraction. First pass, and this is going to be underthrown, and fortunate for Hine that he underthrew it as far as he did. Otherwise, that would have been a pick six for Furious Andrade, the corner on that side.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure if that was underthrown as miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver. Andrade running a go route. Hine thinking he's do a stop route, and the only guy close there was Andrade.
Second down and 15. Hine's going to keep it himself and cross the 15-yard line to the 16. Looks like maybe a miscommunication there as well. Hine looked like he was going to hand off to the wingman coming across, but he was already by him.
He's already by him and a little bit deep. And, yeah, these last two plays I don't think have been Torrey Pines' best plays.
Isaiah Calliope to Isaiah.
Well, you wanted to say that, didn't you?
I've been practicing that all week.
I call him IKT.
We can go with that. Third and long for Torrey Pines. Sweep to the far side of the field. Nice blocking by the Falcons. A first down and more. As O'Brien has an open avenue and takes it out near the Falcons' 40-yard line.
You just look at everybody who carries the ball for this Falcon offense. O'Brien, 6.7 yards a carry. Bingham, 6.2 yards per carry. Galuzzi, 7.9 yards per rush. And then Hine, 7.8 yards per carry. There's no doubt that they won't run the football. That's a passing situation for 99% of high schools.
Third and 11 results in a 23-yard gain. Hine looking to throw. Has some time, and he's going to overthrow his receiver on the near side. That was Evan Galuzzi, the intended target.
Galuzzi coming out of the backfield, but good coverage by that Pirate defense downfield. It's so difficult when a team just doesn't throw the football very much, when they surprise you throwing the football.
Oceanside's done a nice job in the secondary so far when those passing plays have developed. Just two, so we don't want to write the book on that just yet. But I guess Torrey Pines is just doing that to keep that on Oceanside's mind defensively.
That's what I would be thinking.
Here's a handoff up the middle. This is a nice run by Bingham, breaking tackles and taking it in Oceanside territory around the 36-yard line, 24 yards on the carry.
What great vision by Bingham, and that offensive line up front, Driscoll, Brown, Rabb, opening a gigantic hole that I could have gotten through. I'd have gained about 2 yards and it closed on me. Well, what's this hole? Just a really nice job. And then look at the vision, bouncing it outside, cutting it back inside against the grain to pick up more yardage.
Fresh set it down for the Falcons. Here is Bingham again, and he's going to be stopped around the Pirates' 22. Another first down for the Falcons. 14 on the carry.
David Knoll limp leg with that left leg as the defender went down low. I guess that wouldn't be considered a hurdle. But boy, you can just see how dynamic this offense is running the football.
Yeah, really, Hine, given how well they've been running, it really is not going to need to throw the football very much at all tonight if they can keep this up. As we've got a whistle. And a timeout is going to be called by Oceanside. Their defensive coaching staff wants to talk it over with the defensive unit playing on their heels right now. Each game, Cox Communications is proud to present the Scholar Athlete Award to two deserving players for on and off the field accomplishments. Tonight's honorees are Peter Nelson of Torrey Pines and Johnny Egler of Oceanside. Peter's a two-way starter for the Falcons and carries a 4.18 GPA. He scored a 31 on his ACT and volunteers for Teen Volunteer in Action. He's a member of the senior cabinet as well at Torrey Pines High School. Meanwhile, Johnny has a 3.8 GPA, leads the team in tackles, and is involved in the AP Club and the Girard Prep program. Congratulations to both of these fine student athletes. Very difficult to dedicate yourself to the football program the way these kids do and maintain such high GPAs simultaneously.
Always fun for me to see these each and every week. The things these kids do on the field, they do off the field. Do you think they have different scoring now for that ACT? Because I think you could have taken 2 of my ACTs, put them together, and I wouldn't got the 31.
I think you're right. I think that has changed for the SAT as well. 31, I'd love to score that on the Wonderlic test, Dale. That would be. Meanwhile, Oceanside, what can they do here to stop Torrey Pines? Given the way Bingham and O'Brien are running the football right now.
Well, you got to play assignment football, and the first guy has to tackle the ball carrier.
Play action. Hine rolls right, sets up, throws underneath. That pass is complete inside the 10-yard line. That's enough for a first down as the reception's going to go to Jack Fogt. 13 yards on that reception.
Really nice read by Hine. Had a lot of time because of that play action pass. Apodaca, number 33 for Oceanside, is in good coverage as you can be in. Still able to fit the ball in there. Pick up another first down.
Trey Apodaca was all over the back of Fogt. Instead, here on 1st and goal, Hine is going to take it and fight for yardage. Love to see that from your quarterback. A 9-yard touchdown run.
Not afraid to lower that shoulder once he sees the end zone. You know, you look at these running backs. O'Brien's 175, Bingham's 180, Galuzzi's 155, Hines 165. They're awful quick. They're all quick. They got great vision, but they are tough runners when they're in traffic.
Yeah, Hine did not shy away from contact there. Ran through 2 tacklers to get to the end zone. Extra point try here is going to be wide right. So no good on the extra point try. Let's take a look at that run by Hine again.
Again, you leave guys unblocked. You're tackling the fullback. He doesn't have the ball. Somebody's got to stay with the pitch guy. He doesn't have the ball. Oh, this time it's the quarterback. And then on top of that, O'Brien doesn't have the football. So he gets up, throws a block for his quarterback.
Dale, that was an 8-play, 82-yard drive in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Jason Hine, very efficient, guiding that offense down the field, capping that with a 9-yard TD run.
You can see just how comfortable this entire team is running the football, running this offense. Fun to watch them in warm-ups, how disciplined they were. You can tell Ron Gladnick runs a very, very disciplined football program.
Wyatt has already put 2 kicks in the end zone for touchbacks. Dylan York has been merely a spectator here in the first quarter on these kickoffs. This time returnable. York from his 1-yard line. And nice special teams coverage by the Falcons. York is tackled inside the 15. Hustling down the field and making the play was Matthew Gianna.
Well, what's always difficult is when you have a kicker who kicks in the end zone 90+% of the time. Sometimes when you're on that kickoff cover team, you tend to let up a little bit because you're like, well, why am I going to run all the way down there full speed when it's just going to go in the end zone? And then every once in a while he doesn't get all of it and comes up short of the goal line. Have to be ready to make a tackle. Torrey Pines was right there.
Well, this seems like a must-score situation for Oceanside. You're down 14-0 already, and they've been unable to stop Torrey Pines. Beecham is going to keep it on first down. Nice gain out to the 18-yard line, pick up close to 5 yards.
You see little spurts in this offense, little sparks, and obviously right now they've all revolved around that man right there, Kyron Beecham. They put a couple first downs together. Can they get it to the other side of the 50 and possibly come away with some points on this drive?
Beecham does, as you can see, they're average close to 9 yards per carry. 2nd down and 5. Beecham rolling right, throwing to his tight end. That is a tough pass in traffic. Jordan Dewson, the intended target.
Yeah, Dewson, a big target, 6 foot, 195 pounds, dragging across the middle. Had 2 receivers there. Good coverage by the Falcon defense.
Yeah, these pass plays and play actions are not fooling the linebackers and secondary for Torrey Pines. They've been right with these receivers. Big third down here in this first quarter for Oceanside, deep in their own end. Beecham's going to keep it. He has the first down. He will be wrestled down shy of the 30-yard line. Nice play by Beecham and great blocking up front.
Got to give credit to that offensive line. Center Jack Berry, Segale, the right guard. He's only a sophomore. Opened up a really, really nice running lane there. Bologo, we've talked about him, number 52, 5'10", 263 pounds.
You see Laie in your picture there playing offensive line and defensive line tonight. 5 receivers for Beecham on first down from his 29-yard line. Pocket collapses. He steps up to run. Positive yardage to the 33-yard line, making a play happen. That could have been a tackle deep in the backfield, but Beecham gets positive yardage, picks up 4.
Certainly has some explosion.
Torrey Pines was claiming there was a fumble there, Dale.
You're going to see pass blocking breakdown. Ball did look like it came out late, but remember in high school there is no instant replay. There's no red flag challenge.
Our officials aren't going to hustle up to the truck to check out the replay. 14-0, Torrey Pines ahead after the first quarter of play. Game time on YurView.
Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you can, like, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink, just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
James, we both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1, devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2, homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
Back at Torrey Pines High School. I think I said 14-0 as we were going to break. Forget about that missed extra point, Dale. 13-0 our score. Torrey Pines leading it. Oceanside now going right to left. They are needing to score on this possession here. Have yet to cross midfield after the first 12 minutes of play. Beecham with a 2nd and 6. Rolling right, pass, complete underneath. 3rd and short coming up. Nice pass play on 2nd down.
Very, very impressed with Beecham. You know, a lot of times you see a quarterback go from wide receiver, running back to a quarterback. Can't throw enough to keep the defense honest, but Kyron Beecham has the entire toolbox to work with here for Oceanside.
3rd down. Ball at the 37-yard line. First down marker at the 39. Making no bones about this. Beecham's going to just tuck it away and run, crossing the 45 out to the 46-yard line. Another first down for the Pirates.
What a block here by the left guard, Donovan Laie. talked about him in the open. 6'6", 315 pounds. Comes off the ball with Jack Berry. Watch the movement right here. Gets up to that next level. You see the hole open right behind him. Nice job by that offensive line.
Leo Spadell is taking on Laie there as Beecham going to roll out on first down to his left. Now he's going to run away from everybody. Got a lot of room on the other side of the field. First down and more, and knocked out of bounds at the Torrey Pines 40-yard line. Boy, he looked dead to rights in the backfield. 4 black jerseys around him, but escapes and picks up the first down.
Just tremendous athletic ability. Good coverage downfield. Doesn't want to fire it into coverage, and then has the jets to get outside, pick up a first down. Really nice play.
Boy, the Falcons defensive line, how frustrating is it for them? They had 2 guys with a shot at Beecham right there. Nichols and Spadell both had a look at him, and neither one could get a finger on him. Ball at the Torrey Pines 40-yard line. First down for Oceanside. Pass underneath, that's complete. Another first down for the Pirates to the 27-yard line.
Like I said, you see this offense kind of coming together a little bit. Can they sustain it all the way into the end zone? Because something's tripped them up, whether it's a penalty or an incomplete pass or a loss on a running play. Love to see them finish this drive off in the end zone.
Gain of 13 on that last play. Well, again, this is Beecham's first opportunity at quarterback this season. His first 12 minutes, they picked up first downs on both times they touched the football. Drive stalling on their end of the field. Here's a pass that's going to be overthrown, incomplete. But now Beecham looks like he's settling in. As you mentioned, the offense seems to be settling in.
Well, it does. And again, when you can do more than just run the football, see the coach there saying, bring it down a little bit, settle down. Might be a little jazzed up. You get excited. Boy, fun to watch him play. He's only a junior.
It's a nice move by the coaching staff, David Rodriguez and the staff, to put Beecham in there for an offensive spark. Second down with 5 receivers. Beecham's going to tuck it away and run. Not a whole lot there this time. Falcons stripped the football, but the officials had already blown the play dead, so they'll be bringing this one back. Gain of 1 on the play to the 26-yard line.
Ran the ball right into a blitz by the Falcon defense. Just nowhere to go with the football for Beecham.
2-down territory for Oceanside here, Dale. It's a 43-yard field goal if they were going to try to kick one at this point.
I think if you're going to go from here, that's why you're probably going to call a timeout, make sure that everybody's on the same page. You know how important this drive is for your football team.
Let's toss it down to Gordon Spencer down at the sideline for a little bit more on Oceanside. Gordon?
Yeah, Jeff, just a little history on the school. Founded back in 1906, one of 2 high schools in the Oceanside Unified School District. In 1934, the school opened a junior college division, which existed until the 1970s when Miracosta College opened. The senior class takes their class picture every year at Oceanside Municipal Pier. Nice place to do that. Exteriors of the high school were used for fictional Neptune High on the TV show Veronica Mars. Notable alumni include country singer Barbara Mandrell, former Miss Oceanside, Victor Villasenor, acclaimed Mexican-American writer, Junior Seau, we all know him as the great San Diego Charger, Willie Banks, USA Track and Field, and Willie Buchanan, 1972 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. There's a look at Oceanside High School.
Donovan Laie, the cousin of Junior Seau, and boy, Junior Seau's shadow looms large over the Oceanside area a few years after his death now, but still a very towering presence in the community. 3rd and 9 out of the Oceanside timeout, their second. Option, left, looked like it might be a halfback option pass, but Torrey Pines snuffs that one out.
Well, first of all, I think it was a really smart play there by Jared Santos. It's coming right into your living room right here. I think you're right. I think down the field, double covered wide receiver, decided not to throw it. Smart play, live to see at least 4th down.
Parker Williams blew that one up. Great tackle by Williams, reading that coming off his lineman spot to make the play. Loss of 2, 4th and 11. Beecham's got 5 wides, 3 to the far side. He's going to step up. He's going to try to make it happen with his feet. Breaks the tackle. Heads back near side. He's going to run out of room. Oh, and now he's going to get the first down. As Torrey Pines is going to get called for an unnecessary roughness penalty at the end of that one.
Yeah, it's not a smart play.
I think Beecham's just going to turn and say thank you to the tackler there.
You got a number?
Boy, Beecham was going to be pushed out at the 23-yard line.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 8.
Jack Racer, the safety. Look at this athletic play, though. Never say die. Comes over the end zone. All these players. Tackle happens about 8 yards out of bounds. You're going to see it right here. Throws him to the ground. Got to know where you are on the football field and play smart football, and you know that's a calling card of Torrey Pines.
Well, Beecham Beecham's still getting the play call from the sideline there. That penalty, great help to Oceanside, giving them the first down. Boy, Racer, you need to keep your head there on that kind of a play.
What's interesting is you got Beecham running all over this football field, and then he has to run over and get the play from coach and run back to the huddle and then run on the play.
And now we've got a whistle, and this is probably going to be a delay of game against the Pirates.
False start, 53.
I take it back. False start against Oceanside. 5 yards either way.
5 yards either way, but Jack Berry gets his name called out on the loudspeaker. And as I'm looking out there, I don't see number 53. That's the worst when you're not even out there and
Jack
you get
Berry.
your name called.
Like, what did I do? I'm standing on the sideline. And now we got the entire Oceanside offense moving, except the ball never gets snapped.
66.
Pirates starting to pile up the penalties back the other way. They get the 15 yards in the first down, but they're now looking at 1st and 20.
Well, the thing that drives you crazy as a coach is the pre-snap and the post-whistle penalties. Those are controllable. You're going to have a holding call. You're going to have certain things happen during play, but it's those pre-snap penalties that you totally control that drives the coaching staff crazy.
5 penalties now for Oceanside for 35 yards. Beecham low snap. Rolling right. Looking downfield, running out of room. He's going to try to pass it. Underhand, and are they going to say fumble?
Little low snap. Trying to get the ball out in the flat in a hurry. Good coverage downfield. Now you've got pursuit.
It is a fumble. Jack Nelson ripped the ball out. Beecham's actually going to gain a few yards on that play. The ball now inside the 20-yard line.
Another one of those wacky football rules. I think he was just trying to throw the ball out of bounds to avoid taking a loss. You see 6'3", 220-pound Jack Nelson, defensive end.
Actually gained 3 yards on that play. Penalty marker thrown on the handoff up the middle. Nice gain for the Pirates. Jared Santos takes it inside the 5-yard line. And we're going to hold everything for this penalty.
Well, he's looking at Oceanside.
And the Pirates are moving backwards. That was their best carry of the night.
Illegal formation, number 66.
From someone not named Beecham.
You know what just drives you crazy again as an offensive lineman. You get your number called. That's not your fault. It means the receiver wasn't covering you up. So you were lined up as an eligible receiver, and you had no intention of doing it.
Second down and long. The ball at the Falcon 23-yard line. Santos again. Not going to be able to replicate what he did a moment ago. We'll get 3 yards to the 20-yard line. Third down coming up here, but I got to think, Dale, once again, Oceanside is looking at this situation like we're going to take third down. If we need to take fourth down and see if we can score a touchdown, we're going to do that as well. This is the 15th play of the drive coming up here also.
Well, we've talked about this Oceanside offense, able to move the ball for a certain amount of time, but you've got to try and finish it off with points.
Third and 19. And once again, penalty markers. Torrey Pines indicating this is against Oceanside. Once again, the Pirates moving backward. Well, this is where you start running into issues with your revamped offensive line.
Your revamped offensive line, but it's not just the offensive line that's making mistakes. And it's just, again, it's one of those things that can absolutely drive you crazy as a coaching staff, because you can't really get control if you get beat physically, but you can control using the snap count to your advantage.
Third and 25 now. Beecham rolls left. Oh, nice screen underneath to Apodaca. Apodaca going to be spun down at the 20-yard line, but as Nelson made the tackle, the officials throw a flag.
Come over and move your sophomore offensive line up a little bit.
Number?
He's lining up on the guard who's lined up too deep.
Hold, number 53. Decline. Fourth down.
So fourth down coming up as Beecham is rearranging the furniture right now on the offensive line, moving guys around.
Well, what a heads-up play on his part. I'm sure he heard the coaches yelling, get up right side, get up right side. And you're supposed to line up with your toes on the heels of the center. Right guard lines up a little bit deep, and that means the right tackle is going to line up a little bit deeper. And now you don't have enough players out on the field and will absolutely drive your coaching staff crazy.
Well, that is the final timeout that's going to be called by Oceanside. Coach Rodriguez very upset, threw his clipboard down on the ground. And let's look at that injury situation. That injury situation again for Oceanside has caused them to reshuffle the offensive line like we've talked about quite a bit. Here you can see it. Gordon, talk to us about this. Oceanside really scrambling on the offensive line this week.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I talked to Coach Rodriguez before the game, and it's one of those things in football. You just can't control his injuries, and you've seen Jonathan Segui, Kalen Dusan, Josh Garcia, Mason Buchek, Moses Tawalili, and Jojo Moreno, all key players on this team. They lost a lot of starters, and now they're just fighting through this season.
Well, Jose Aguirre on for a field goal try. This will be a 30-yard attempt. And this kick is going to be low and not good. So Oceanside, a lot of plays. They move down the field, but come up empty as the 30-yard field goal is short. And it's got to be a very frustrated Oceanside sideline right now.
Well, I think it is. And look at that drive, you're aided by the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, gives you first down, and then you back up 10 yards with a couple of pre-snap penalties, and then you have a hold, and those things you just kind of self-destructed offensively.
Here on first down, running right, the Falcons taking it. That's O'Brien across the 25-yard line out to the 27 for a gain of 7 yards. That was 16 plays, 64 yards, and 8 minutes and 6 seconds for Oceanside on that last possession. There you see O'Brien's numbers against Westview last week. As we've got a whistle, penalty markers. O'Brien going to be our YurView athlete featured at halftime. As that penalty is going to go against the Falcons. This week on YurView's High School Football Recruiting Podcast, Over the Middle. ESPN's Tom Van Haren will break down some of the new recruiting rules. UGAsports.com's Arati Nabulsi will get us up to speed on the impact of number 1 QB recruit Justin Fields' commitment to the University of Georgia. And look at that. Our very own Dale Hellestray is going to preview the Arizona game of the week as two of the top-rated teams in the state, Desert Ridge and Mountain Point, do battle. All that and more on this week's episode of Over the Middle. That one's a pass over the middle, and it will be complete for a Torrey Pines first down.
Really nice job with those 3 names. They got harder as you went along, although I see somebody there give you the pronunciation.
That's true. I had some help.
You little cheater.
I had some help.
Nice throw, nice catch. Again, you run the football so much you can sneak those tight ends down the seam. Those linebackers think and run down after down.
Parker Williams with a reception over the middle. Nice pass by Hine. There is a maneuver. The ball to the near side as O'Brien will be wrestled out of bounds at the 45-yard line. But boy, Dale, even I got confused on that one. You had 3 players going in 3 different directions. It looked like a starburst.
I don't know how they don't run into each other, obviously with a lot of practice. And see here at the end, you got to appreciate the white jerseys. They'll run into the football, battling here late in the second quarter.
We've got another flag thrown here by our near side official, and
red ball, offsides, number 44.
I was going to say early indications look like a neutral zone infraction. That's exactly what it is.
Well, these side judges better get some ice packs ready. As many flags as they're throwing in this first half. They like to throw them high, too, for effect.
11 penalties combined in the first half of play, 8 of them against Oceanside. 1st and 5. And here's another one.
Well, it's as simple as just lining up on side if you're Oceanside. That's
dead ball, offsides, number 85.
You know, that just absolutely drives you crazy, you know, as a coaching staff.
First down on 2 penalties, the 9th penalty against the Pirates. And a lot of these, as you mentioned, Dale, not physical penalties. These are mental errors on the part of the Pirates. So Brian in motion. Bingham's going to get the carry right up the middle, and look at this. A lot of real estate in front of him, and Bingham is in for a touchdown.
What a nice job by that offensive line.
44 yards on the carry by Bingham. And I don't even think the secondary knew he had the football. He ran right by them, and they were looking to the outside.
That's going to be one of the easier touchdowns that Mac Bingham comes up with. As I said, give credit to that interior of the offensive line, get movement at the point of attack.
Extra point try. Falcons 1 out of 2. Make that 2 out of 3. 20-0. Torrey Pines leading it. Going to take a break here. Game time on YurView as you see Bingham running right into your living room.
there's an easier way to watch live TV away from your home. Get the Contour app from Cox. Now one simple app gives you the freedom to watch many of your Cox TV favorites on your phone, tablet, or laptop, wherever you want. So you can take your TV with you, without taking your TV. The Contour app. Get right to the good stuff. Anywhere.
We need you guys, we need the city of San Diego because they're gonna make us great. Everything that we're gonna do is everything that we would have loved to receive when we were playing football. And that's what we're gonna give them. So we make sure that the next American soccer player is top of the world. Did you hear who's coming?
A lot for the crowd to cheer about right now at Torrey Pines High School, leading it 20-0 over Oceanside. 4:12 remaining second quarter. Jeff Kurtz alongside Dale Hellestray from the cozy confines of the Torrey Pines High School press box. Impressive drive once again for the Falcons, aided by a familiar refrain in this first half, Dale, some Oceanside penalties. 5 plays, 80 yards, a minute 42 drive for the Falcons. Tanner Wyatt set to kick. Pirates from their own 3-yard line. Nice return, 30, 35, and out across the 35 goes York. And this will be the best starting field position of the game for Oceanside on that 35-yard return. They've had drives starting at their own 20 twice, their own 13-yard line, and I don't know if the offense is going to know what to do with it. Beecham start him out at the 38. Let's look at that touchdown run by Bingham again.
You're looking at Misak, you're looking at Brown, you're looking at Rabb doing a tremendous job inside for this Torrey Pines Falcons offense, and Bingham caps it off with an untouched touchdown.
Beecham trying to get his team on the board, is going to run it left after the fake. And will be tackled at the 44-yard line, pick up a 6. Might even give him forward progress to the 45.
See number 44, Bickett in there on the tackle. Bunch of offers from Ivy League schools. His dad, Dwayne Bickett, a top 10 NFL draft pick in the 85 draft. Had a very nice NFL career. Bickett 6'4", 200-pound senior.
Saw Beecham numbers, not bad for the first half. 12 carries already for 77 yards. He's got the first down here, absorbing a couple of hits. Takes it out near midfield. Bickett, involved in that tackle.
Tremendous athlete. You can just, if you're a college recruiter, you're looking at him, obviously Ivy League school, smart, very technically sound. Dwayne Bickett, the linebacker coach here at Torrey Pines.
You always wonder what those conversations are like when they get home.
Yeah, some parents definitely need to back away from football at home. I have a feeling the Bicketts have a nice balance.
First down, Oceanside. Looking to throw into traffic, almost intercepted. That pass was intended for Armand Facili, but Gaston Shank gets in there and knocks the ball away. Almost comes up with a pick.
Looked like Shank playing outside leverage. Kind of baited Beecham into that throw. Ball hung up just a little bit too long because he was open for a minute. And there you see Shank come in to break up the pass. And I know wide receivers always tease DBs. The DBs are just frustrated wide receivers that can't catch the ball.
On that one there, Shank almost with the interception. Beecham's going to roll, throw, that pass incomplete. Intended for Dewson. And Beecham was hit at the end of that play. And slow to get up. That was Bickett with the stick on that one.
Yeah, it comes untouched. Bickett, I'm not so sure that's not helmet to helmet contact. And again, you don't have to like the rule, but the official's sitting there looking right at it. And as you see that replay, they're protecting quarterbacks. That's helmet-to-helmet contact.
Well, Bickett then has to jog all the way to the sideline for the play call and hustle back into the huddle. Clock stopped with 2:38 remaining. Oceanside out of timeouts. He's going to run it himself up the middle. He's got the first down. Nice carry by Beecham, who's going to be stopped shy of the 30-yard line. Boy, after he got drilled on that last play, calling his own number again and gets the first down plus.
Boy, he runs with a sense of urgency. I mean, he's going to go over there off the left side of the offensive line. Give credit to that offensive line, blocking down, bursts. Just has an uncanny sense of quickness there. You know, you kind of misjudge it sometimes. Parker Williams thought he had him. Williams, 6'3", 200-pound senior. Not quite quick enough to get him on the ground.
Beecham's going to roll out right. Ball at the 31. Pass is going to be incomplete. Thrown a little bit behind the receiver there. That was Malachi Tuua, the intended target.
Well, the reason they threw the ball a little bit inaccurately, Connor Nichols, the 210-pound senior defensive lineman, bearing down on him. And tell you what, Beecham's just played one heck of a first half, and he has taken a bunch of physical hits from this Falcon defense.
Seems really important for Oceanside to get a score here on this possession, especially since Torrey Pines will get the ball to begin the second half of play, Dale. Imperative that Oceanside get points on the board on this drive, as here is Beecham. He's going to carry it on second down. He'll take it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Jeff,
short yardage, second and 8.
You said that on every drive.
It seems like it, yeah. They've gotten more. It's gotten more imperative as we've gone along here.
It's always important to score when you have the football. But you're right. I mean, you sit here, you come away with no points here, and you give the ball right back to Torrey Pines. You see the numbers there, first half, and a bunch of a few of those incomplete passes taking big hits.
Pass underneath on the shovel pass to Dewson. Down around the 26-yard line on that pass play. Fourth down coming up, and Torrey Pines is going to use their first time out. And let's go down to Gordon Spencer on the sideline for a little bit more on Torrey Pines. Gordon?
All right, Jeff. Well, you know, the school is named after the Torrey pine tree that grows in the area. The school opened in 1974 to accommodate the increasing population in the area, when Oceanside High was the only school around this area. It's a 3-time National Blue Ribbon School, named State School of the Year for overall sports excellence by Cal High Sports in 2002 and 3, 14 and 15, and 2015 and 16. Notable alumni include Tony Hawk, the professional skateboarder, John Lynch, former NFL All-Pro and now GM of the 49ers, Shaun White, gold medal winning snowboarder and skateboarder, and Taylor Steele, the king of surf cinema. A little profile on Torrey Pines High School.
Thank you, Gordon. We're also a few really long drives from Torrey Pines Golf Course, Dale. Not too far.
Well, I tried. I tried to get Ron Gladnick to get us on. He said he knows somebody, and he left it at that. No invite. No, hey, if we win, I'll meet you out there tomorrow. Yeah. Here in San Diego.
It's not a bad idea to sneak in 18.
You know, brought my sticks out here, hoping for a victory and a round of golf.
Fourth down and 5. Beecham and Oceanside going for it here. Rolling right, setting up, throwing, end zone pass. That's going to be overthrown. Intended for Elijah Facili in the end zone, incomplete. Turnover on downs to the Falcons.
Just amazing to me, both these secondaries have done such a tremendous job with the threat of the run. There's still, you don't see receivers come open very very often.
Falcons now with 2 timeouts. And 1:03 on the clock. And they've been moving the ball very well. A chance for some more points before the end of the half. Here's a reverse. Nice job by Oceanside bottling that up. Bo Morgan's on the carry.
Well, when you come into the game, as Torrey Pines did after 285 yards rushing, only 84 yards passing, 23 rushing TDs versus 3 passing, you know you're a run-dominant team.
Clock continues to move. Torrey Pines might be content. Let this one run out. We have a penalty marker down. High, a nice stiff arm down the sideline. Will be knocked out of bounds inside the Oceanside 45. But we have 2 flags actually back around the line of scrimmage. And this is going to be holding against the Falcons. Nice run by Hine, going to be called back.
Can you see all 4 of these guys for Torrey Pines? Hine, O'Brien, Bingham, Galuzzi. Like interchangeable parts, all unselfish.
Holding, number 9, offense.
That's Bingham.
Full 10.
Blocking for Hine.
Well, here on 2nd down and long, I don't foresee Torrey Pines trying anything deep down the field here, but given how well the running game's been going, that's just as good as a long pass for the
Well,
Falcons.
it is. So we said when you complete less than 50% of your passes, the one thing you don't want to have happen here is an interception and give Oceanside any momentum going into halftime.
And Torrey Pines is going to go between the tackles here. Gain of 1 on the play.
Let this quarter end.
And Torrey Pines doesn't even have to snap the football again if they do not want to. And it doesn't look like they're in any hurry to do so. Content to take a 20-0 lead into the halftime break. It's homecoming here at Torrey Pines High School, and the Falcons in front 20-0. Let's go down to Gordon along the sideline. Gordon?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, Coach, good start. Your offense seemed to be rolling pretty much in that first half.
Yeah, I feel really good about our offense. We've got to contain number 4 for Oceanside. You know, we're letting them possess the ball too long, which doesn't allow us to do what we like to do.
Yeah, long possession for them, but they come up empty, so you got to feel a little good about that.
Yeah, we feel good about that, but again, our whole system is based on our offense possessing the ball and wearing teams out.
So you just want to, is that the message at the halftime, is to go in and possess it a little more?
Yeah, and focus on stopping number 4. We're hurting ourselves a little bit. We've had a couple of alignment issues, and he's a great athlete, and we've got to not let him bait us. We've got to kind of string him out and make him bubble to the sideline and give our guys a chance to pursue.
All right, Coach, continued success in the second half.
Right,
Thanks for your
you.
time. All right, going into halftime, 20-0. Let's go back upstairs to Jeff.
You see the Falcons leaving the field up 20-0. We'll be back with more Game Time on YurView. Coming up with more after this.
Offside, number 44.
We both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1. Devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2. Homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips, because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink, just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
The first time I came here, the city gave me joy. I was smiling for the whole day because the energy that is around the city is special. When I see kids around, they play a lot of football in San Diego. You know, we have been waiting for this moment for the last 2-3 years. This is the project of our life. Eden Hazard, Johan Kabay, Musa Som, and me myself, you know, we want to give back from what we have received and trying to do something good for this city. We need you guys, like, you know, we need the city of San Diego because they're going to make us great. Everything that we're going to do is everything that we would have loved to receive when we were playing football. And that's what we're going to give them. So we make sure that the next American soccer player is like top of the world. Did you hear who's coming?
Halftime here of the Oceanside Torrey Pines football game. Glad to be joined by a special guest, Katie Temple, spokesperson for San Diego NASL. Tell us about NASL.
Well, thank you for having me. We're very excited. The new San Diego NASL team is coming to San Diego. We are going to have a team on the field in 2018, late March, and we are getting everything ready right now.
Yeah, talk about the group that got this all started for the team.
So if you're a soccer fan, you've kind of heard of some of these people. Our main investor is Demba Ba, who is an international superstar, Eden Hazard, who is also a huge name, Musa So, and Johan Kabay. And they're the main investors and currently playing internationally. And they brought some of their friends from France. Also, there's one American local who's also an owner and the president, Bob Watkins, who has been San Diego State alum and successful businessman here, and so they've brought him in, so it's been a good mix. But this is a passion project for these players, and they saw North County. We're going to play in North County. They saw North County as a hotbed for youth talent and lacking in some entertainment space, and so that's where we're going to play. But they are ready to go.
Can you tell us anything about any details about maybe where the team might play, any team name, or is that still in the works?
I know we're kind of being mysterious about it, but this month we will have a lot of information going out to the fans. I will tell you that we are close to nailing down a location, but it is in North County, and maybe we'll have some information on the name and the logo, and maybe one of the local fans gave us the name, maybe.
Ah, good mystery. And I know something you can tell us about is a great partnership with Cox Communications.
Yes, very excited about that. There's going to be 10 games. 10 of our games are going to be on Cox, which is great because we're excited about the exposure and people at home get to watch great soccer on TV.
Well, we're very excited. I know there's a lot of great soccer fans here, and we'll see some great soccer here in San Diego soon.
Yes, we are very excited and looking forward to it, and thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Katie.
Score here at halftime, Torrey Pines leading Oceanside 20-0. Well, Torrey Pines senior running back Sully O'Brien isn't the biggest or fastest guy on the field, but nobody, according to head coach Ron Gladnick, plays with more heart than O'Brien. Let's meet Sully O'Brien.
Sully O'Brien, senior, Torrey Pines High School, number 11, running back. What makes me the player I am is just my overall speed and quickness and very good vision, I'd say. I see the field very well. My ability to read my guards and tackles, helps me. Professional players, Le'Veon Bell, just because he's so patient how he runs, and I like to model my game after that. I like to play fast, to the outside, up the middle, anywhere. I like to make people miss. Our coaches are very helpful. They are such smart coaches. They really prepare us for each game. They're so in-depth and so detailed about who we're playing against. They're very disciplined, and they make sure we're disciplined, especially these next coming weeks coming to league. They really help us. Last year, the league championship, we played against LCC. It was our last game, and if we won that, we would clinch league. So it was a very big game, and it's also our biggest rival, so it was really fun atmosphere. My goals this year is just to win a league championship and win a CIF championship. I feel like we work very hard, and since December we've been working hard, doing weights and conditioning and whatnot. And our whole team goal is to win a league championship and then to win a CIF championship. Personal, all about the team. To this community, football is, I feel like it's a big part. There's so many people here coming to our games, and the whole community comes and supports us, which is very nice. All the players are friends with each other, I feel like, and no one in particular, I'd say just everyone on the team's close-knit. My mom, always there for me, my brothers, they've just always been doing everything they can to support me, staying up late, making me food, being to all my games, home or away. Academic school, Princeton, Cornell, and then Tufts and Williams. Most specifically Princeton. I really like Princeton, and I met with their coach, and he was a really good guy, and I just like the feel around campus there. The town's awesome, and everything about it's cool. It's a good sports school and also the best school in the world, so I could see myself there.
O'Brien is also a standout lacrosse player at Torrey Pines, and, well, let's face it, one of the best names on the field, Sully O'Brien. It's homecoming halftime at Torrey Pines High School. The lead for Torrey Pines 20-0 over Oceanside. When we come back, highlights and stats with Jeff and Dale when Game Time on YurView comes back.
There's an easier way to watch live TV away from your home. Get the Contour app from Cox. Now, one simple app gives you the freedom to watch many of your Cox TV favorites on your phone, tablet, or laptop, wherever you want. So you can take your TV with you without taking your TV. The Contour app. Get right to the good stuff. Anywhere.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you can, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
James, we both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1, devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2, homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
You're watching the National High School Football Game of the Week. Join us all fall long for tomorrow's classics today, only on YurView.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Dale Hellestray. We're going to send it down to Gordon Spencer. He's going to talk a little bit about our YurView Athlete of the Week. Dale? Or excuse me, Gordon?
Okay.
We're going highlights here first, it looks like. Well, Falcons had a lot of them here in the first half. Dale, Sully O'Brien getting started.
They certainly did. And this running attack, as you see them pound it into the end zone, a tremendous job. It's exactly what we thought would happen with this offense.
Here's Hine, a pass, the throw it underneath. Setting up a touchdown run by Hine himself, looking at taking it between those two tacklers.
Yeah, a really nice job by Hine. Again, hiding the ball, doing a really nice job. And then really the big highlight for Oceanside, Beecham running the football, first game at quarterback. He completed some passes. He had some chances on others, and just a dynamic playmaker who is going to be very, very sore in the morning, and then Pregame is going to be coming right into your living room, untouched, into the end zone.
Let's take a look at those halftime stats, and you can see this is heavily dominated by Torrey Pines, especially in the running game. 187 yards versus 112 for Oceanside.
And the one thing you have to look at if you're this Oceanside team, the 9 penalties. You can't end this game with 18 penalties, and majority of those pre-snap penalties. Got to improve there. You've had some chances. Can you take advantage here in the second half?
Well, that is the question, especially with Oceanside being down 3 scores. They're going to really have to work to clean up those penalties in the second half. A lot of them were discipline penalties in the first half, Dale. A lot of false starts, a lot of guys jumping offside defensively.
Yeah, and as we talked about during the first half, those pre-snap penalties will kill you. Those are discipline-type penalties. You can live with the holdings and the things that happen during play. It's pre-snap and post-snap that will upset you.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we go to Gordon Spencer now down on the sideline? Gordon?
Jeff, I'm always waiting. I'm here for you. Well, Oceanside offensive and defensive lineman Donovan Laie has big shoes to fill. He is the cousin of NFL Hall of Famer, former Charger and Oceanside Pirate, the late, great Junior Seau. But Laie fills them just fine with his 6'6", 350-pound frame. Let's meet Donovan Laie.
Donovan Laie, senior, Oceanside High School, number 75, left tackle. For me, football is everything. It's like a tradition here. To make my family proud, I had to carry the tradition. Junior Seau is my uncle. He's my mother's first cousin, trying to follow in his footsteps. Being humble, knowing that I need to work as hard as everybody else, and just to continue to grind each day and just continue to stay thankful. The coaches say finesse. Well, I dominate, but I like to make sure I put my team before my own style of play, so finesse. My sophomore year, I was involved in the CIF title against El Camino, and we won that, so I had a ring as a sophomore. My family supports me all the way. They believe I can be something what Junior Seau was or my other cousins were, so they just give me like the support every day, and my friends also. I actually have a lot of colleges giving me scholarship offers like SCSU, Oregon State, BYU, UNLV, Utah State, Hawaii. They're very interested. Trying to stay on the West Coast. I'm thinking about San Diego State because it's close to home. Thinking about University of Arizona because it's on the West Coast. And I love the coaching staff. Utah State because I believe that they have a nice program and good coaching staff.
Donovan has not made his mind up yet where he's going to school, but wherever he lands, the school will be glad he is there. As the homecoming festivities continue here at Torrey Pines High School, we're going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, games from around the country and the Sights and Sounds feature. It's game time on YurView.
You know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink, just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, Then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you could, like, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
The homecoming court being introduced here at Torrey Pines High School as halftime continues here on Game Time on YurView. Boy, some of these kids have some pretty interesting and creative intros that they write for themselves. We're hearing some of them here, including how much some of them like bagel sandwiches. We got a little bit of that this evening. Let's take a look at the top games and perhaps even the top bagel games taking place around the country. Mater Dei and St. John Bosco. That is a big one tonight here in the Southern California area. Grayson and Archer, both teams undefeated. American Heritage and Cardinal Gibbons, and then Plano and Allen. Always a big game down in Texas. The Eagles have scored 120 points in the last two games, and Plano lost their first game last week to an undefeated McKinney. American Heritage is number 4, and they're at Cardinal Gibbons from Fort Lauderdale. Grayson, the number 3 team in Georgia, playing Archer in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Grayson's defense has 39 sacks this year. We're barely halfway through the season. And then that Mater Dei St. John Bosco game, that features the number 1 and number 5 teams in the country. A huge in-state game here in the state of California. St. John Bosco's only loss was to St. Thomas Aquinas out of Florida in the season opener. Mater Dei averaging nearly 50 points a game, Dale. It's pretty impressive. Let's go down to Gordon, down on the field with more. Gordon?
Thanks, Jeff. Well, you know, number 3 in the country, St. Thomas Aquinas, came to Phoenix 2 weeks ago with 27 players having Division I scholarship offers and back-to-back Florida State Class 7 titles under the belts. They traveled to play a Centennial team that is an Arizona power. Something had to give and something did give. Photographer Isaac Easley and editor Patrick Marrero bring you some sights and sounds from that epic matchup that rocked the high school football nation.
They're gonna get it, baby. They gon' get it. Tell me, tell 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, buddy. Nothing gets by my house unless it comes through my driveway, right? Make it your driveway. They don't do this on your yard. Let's go. House. Protect your yard. Let's get a Trishman on 3. 1, 2, 3. Trishman.
In 48 minutes, you back up every single word you hear me saying. Because everything that I say, you guys believe. And everything that you believe, you got to go out there and you got to back it up. For how long? 48. That's all we got is 48 minutes. That's our survival time. That's our guts and glory. Let's go!
Beltran rolls right, has his receiver making the catch. 3rd down. Zidane Thomas, the stiff arm, bouncing to the outside. Another stiff arm, still on his feet.
You're doing your job. That's all it is. You do is your job.
Has his receiver, Elijah Moore, eludes the tackle. Big rush by Centennial, but they can't bring Castile down.
Use your hands. Be constructive. Strike, get off the ball, and find that bird. Look at the person next to you. That's us. Let's depend on us, baby.
Castile looks right. He's going to get sacked. Intercepted. Dom Hampton.
Let's go.
3rd and 1 with 1:53 remaining. So the play of the game coming here. Hand off Thomas. 1st down, Centennial. Still on his feet. Breaks through the pile. Thomas is on the run. Touchdown, Centennial.
there's an easier way to watch live TV away from your home. Get the Contour app from Cox. Now, one simple app gives you the freedom to watch many of your Cox TV favorites on your phone, tablet, or laptop, wherever you want. So you can take your TV with you, without taking your TV. The Contour app. Get right to the good stuff. Anywhere.
James, we both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1. Devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2. Homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips, because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Back at Torrey Pines High School, 20-0 our halftime score. Gordon is caught up with head coach David Rodriguez of Oceanside. Gordon?
Yeah, Jeff just spoke to Coach Rodriguez and told him that he mentioned that one thing they need to do is eliminate the stupid penalties. That was a quote from him. And obviously with that wing T offense, he said their guys have to stay with those assignments. They cannot get out of position because that wing T offense will burn you every time. And then obviously what they need to do is get the offense clicking a little more, take advantage and control that ball down 20-0.
Well, thank you, Gordon. And let's take a look at those comments from Coach Rodriguez there, Dale. I mean, how do you make those adjustments when you're a defensive player and you coach back the discipline where people are staying in the right lane?
Well, it's one thing to say, it's another thing to do it. You get frustrated because, like I said there in the first quarter, number one, you don't ever see it in high school football. You can't practice it. You can get a scout team and say you're running the wing T, but they're not proficient at it. And you're going to struggle. The discipline and those kind of things will get you in trouble.
Let's look at the rest of Oceanside's schedule this year, and it doesn't get any easier after tonight. Home against San Pasqual, at La Costa Canyon, one of the top two teams in the San Diego section, and then a very tough rivalry game, though it will be at Oceanside, against El Camino. That is a crosstown rivalry that has been very intense over the years, El Camino and Oceanside closing out the regular season. But this is not an easy look, one of the toughest schedules in the San Diego section, the Oceanside Pirates. And there's Kyron Beecham, who had a very good first half for Oceanside, but no points up on the board for the Pirates, and Torrey Pines is going to start out with a football to begin the second half of play, so Beecham's going to have to wait even longer to get a crack at it.
Well, he is, and this Oceanside defense, they hold up, then a big play hits them. Can they somehow, some way come up with a turnover, come up with a stop, give this offense a chance at decent field position, and go down and get some points? As John Madden used to say, the first points are the hardest ones to score. Usually once you score, you have a chance to score more.
Lucas Solberg kicking off for the Pirates. Our second half underway. And returnable for the Falcons from their 5-yard line. Heading near side, 30, 35, 40, and tackled is O'Brien close to the 45-yard line. And Mac Bingham, an outstanding first half for this young man.
You see him here scored there from short. See him breaking off long runs. All these running backs, great vision, a great feel for this offense, and boy, they can explode when they see some openings to run through.
A long touchdown run there, his second of the game. And he is going to get the carry on first down and take it into Oceanside territory at the Pirates' 47-yard line for a gain of 8 yards.
It's just so crazy. You're sitting here watching this offense, and I was pretty sure Bingham had the ball, but then I see Jason Hine running around the edge full speed like he had the ball, and that's just got to cause you to hesitate for a split second if you're a defensive player.
Second down and short. This is a handoff up the middle again. It's going to get the Falcons a first down. That time O'Brien on the carry, but once again Hine is selling that fake really well, because this time I thought he had the ball going around the left side.
And they throw in motion that can catch you off guard, and as a linebacker you see the motion come across your screen where your eyes just naturally go there. Okay, it's going that way, and then boom, the play comes right back against the grain.
Here up the middle again. Bingham going to bounce now to the near sideline. Cut back inside the 15. He'll be wrestled down. Another long gain for Torrey Pines.
Well, and neat thing that Mac Bingham does here, a lot of running backs just going to run out of bounds. He turns back upfield, gets himself a few more yards running the football.
A 28-yard gain. You wonder if Mac Bingham got offered a scholarship, a full ride to USC for baseball as a freshman. You wonder if the USC baseball coaching staff catches its breath every time he doesn't go out of bounds and cuts back onto the field of play there.
Love to see these multi-sport kids.
There's a handoff running left-hand side. It's going to get short yardage for Evan Galuzzi, tackled just shy of the 10-yard line.
We touched on the first half. The other thing you got to realize is when you have three guys, really four, if you consider Jason Hine a running back / quarterback, you have to be unselfish, because you look at their numbers, any one of them could be 1,000-yard rushers right now, the way this offense can run the football, but you give up for a little bit of your individual glory for the good of the team.
The team has averaged 282 yards a game on the ground this season. They're going to get a few more here as Bingham will take it inside the 10-yard line down to the 9. Third down coming up. It's hard to believe Torrey Pines had the ball 4 times in the first half, Dale. They scored on their first 3 and ran out of time at the end of the half on their 4th possession, and Coach Gladnick seemed dismayed that they hadn't had the ball more in the first half.
We talked about in the first half. Watch how quick they get up to the line of scrimmage right here, and watch how quick they run a play.
Third down. This is an end around to O'Brien. He's got the first down. He's got the touchdown. O'Brien from 9 yards out, and the Falcons extend their lead.
Both guards get out there and pull, and they lead the way. Seal off the edge, and then O'Brien does the rest. But boy, that offensive line makes it really easy on some of these plays for these running backs.
Alex Brown doing a nice job getting the edge set up for O'Brien. Now the extra point try. Justin Kaplan. Going to put that one through. Make it a 27-0 ball game. Torrey Pines comfortably in front here on homecoming. They're up 27-0.
Like, we need the city of San Diego because they're gonna make us great. Everything that we're gonna do is everything that we would have loved to receive when we were playing football. And that's what we're gonna give them. So we make sure that the next American soccer player is like top of the world. Did you hear who's coming?
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Lots to cheer about for Torrey Pines tonight. 27-0 the score as they take the opening kickoff of the second half and go all the way down for a 9-yard Sully O'Brien touchdown run. Because O'Brien said, you know what? I don't think it's fair that Bingham has got 2 and I've only got 1. Let me see if I can catch up with him. Here's a kickoff for Wyatt. From the goal line. Nice run by York. He's going to take it out to the 25-yard line for a return of 24 yards. And let's take a look at that scoring drive for Torrey Pines. 6 plays, 55 yards in 2:57.
And that's the thing. They go 55 yards. They don't throw the ball once, and yet they really only take 3 minutes off the clock because they have such big chunk plays when they run this offense.
I don't know if Coach Gladnick, is there such thing as scoring too quickly in his mind? It seemed like it after that first half. Let's see what Beecham can do with the Oceanside offense to begin the second half of play. Running play up the middle is going to get the Pirates a quick first down across the 35. As that carry from Jared Santos.
Santos right up the middle. 185-pound senior right up the middle. Behind left guard, Donovan Laie. Watch this hole open up. Nice backside block. Got Laie there.
Santos again. This time he's going to lose a yard back to the 35-yard line as Bickett comes in to make the play.
Well, that's the thing we see this Oceanside offense. They have a good play, then an okay play, then a poor play, and then a good play, and the consistency isn't there yet. Although they keep Beecham at quarterback and continue to improve this offense and maybe get a few of those guys that are hurt right now back on the football field, they could be somebody to be reckoned with as the season winds down.
Beecham on 2nd and 11. Pass near side. This is Vasili. Vasili, nice move into the secondary with a first down and more into Torrey Pines territory. Tackled around the Falcons' 33-yard line. 33 yards on that pass play.
Great burst right here. Get the ball out in one of your playmakers' hands. Good blocking down the field by Darrell. And look at him explode right there. Good blocking downfield by 2 wide receivers. Looked like he almost hyperextended his knee there, but kept on running.
4 receivers for Beecham. He's going to keep the football. Bickett is all over it, but Beecham breaks the tackle. Rolling right, has time, throws incomplete. Nice job just even saving that play.
Trying to think of somebody that reminds me of. He's so strong. He's only listed 170 pounds from the left side of the screen. You're going to see Bickett come untouched. Remember, Bickett, 200 pounds. Not able to get him on the ground. Finds a way to get out of the grasp and throw an incomplete pass for 2nd down and 10.
Credit to the secondary, though, for Torrey Pines. Hanging on to their receivers and sticking with them long enough because there was no one open, given how long that play took to develop. There was no one for Beecham to throw to. 2nd and 10. Another wide receiver screen, far side, will result in Oceanside first down. Tackle around the 20-yard line. That was Tuua with the catch.
Bickett almost had an interception. You see the numbers on the season. A couple passes now to the outside. Watch 44. Almost knocked that ball down. Great blocking downfield. You got to be excited to watch York and Vasili block for the buddy Tuua.
Running play left side. Santos is going to dive forward, shy of the 15-yard line. Gain of about 4.
As I said, you can see this offense can move the football. Now they're down inside that red zone again. Can they come away with a touchdown? Because at this point in the game, I think you're in 4-down territory with 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
2nd and 6. Here's Santos running right this time, and Torrey Pines is all over it, and Bickett, again, there to make the play.
He really flashes. You know, you hear the name, you see the size. If you're a college coach, you're going 6'4", 200. You see his dad saying, boy, I can put about 35 pounds on this kid over the next few years, and could be a heck of a linebacker.
The way he flies to the football, found a gap and got right to it. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 6. Beecham near side. Vasili can't haul it in. And let's go down to Gordon on the sideline, talking a little bit more about Louis Bickett. Gordon?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, Torrey Pines star linebacker Louis Bickett doesn't have far to go to get good coaching. His father, Dwayne, as Dale talked about earlier, was the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year and a first-team All-American for USC in 1984. He was the 5th pick of the 1985 NFL Draft by Indianapolis and was the AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year that season. He went on to play 12 seasons in the NFL. No doubt that experience has been a help to Louis. That 3.5 GPA certainly helped Louis as the Naval Academy is looking at him.
Beecham running short side of the field on 4th down, and he's rapidly going to run out of real estate at the 15-yard line.
And I understand why coaches want to run to the short side of the field. Usually defenses kick coverage and help to the wide side of the field. But when you have an athlete like Beecham, not so sure I'm not going to get him to the wide side of the field. He makes somebody miss, and that's basically what you're counting on when you're going to run that football play. And once again, down inside the red zone, Oceanside comes up empty.
Second time in a row, turnover on downs by the Pirates. And the Falcons will take over at their own 16-yard line, running to the right-hand side of the field. And close to a first down on that carry. That's O'Brien. And we've got an injured Pirate down on the field.
This sounds like that old Packer sweep. Watch the 2 guards pull out and lead the way on this running play, and just the vision and explosion from O'Brien. Tremendous job by everybody involved.
And that's Vasili down on the field right now. Let's take a quick moment to talk about tonight's delivery of the game. Our delivery of the game is a pretty easy one. It's Bingham with a long touchdown run.
See this from a number of different angles, and it looks good from any angle that you watch it on.
Anytime you've got your star running back going 45 yards, practically untouched into the end zone. Always great to see that, especially if you're a Torrey Pines fan tonight. 9 carries, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and we're just under the midway point of the 3rd quarter.
Well, and you mentioned Vasili down for Oceanside. We've talked about the number of injuries that this Pirate football team has had to endure. Let's hope he's okay.
Let's take a look at our Max Preps top 10 from across the country. Talking about Mater Dei playing a big game against St. John Bosco. 1 versus 5. That game taking place tonight in Southern California. IMG Academy holding that number 2 spot. Grayson 3, American Heritage 4. DeSoto from Texas in the 6th spot. Corona Centennial, they're playing San Diego tonight here in Southern California. And then Allen, St. Joseph's Prep, and Bingham out of Utah, rounding out the top 10. Vasili walking off the field with a bit of a limp. Hopefully he's able to get back into the game. At some point, Coach Rodriguez has got to be saying, what more can happen here to us health-wise?
It is. It's got to be frustrating. Sometimes you just have years like that. You don't know why, and you don't know how, and it just gets to be frustrating as you see these young kids get injured.
Well, on top of that, they had a flu bug floating around campus and strep throat as well for Oceanside this week, as we have our first penalty marker of the second half. And this one looks like it's going to go against the Pirates, as early indications are
dead ball, encroachment, defense. First down.
Well, this hurt Oceanside in the first half, and it's going to give Torrey Pines another first down.
Just interesting, as we've shown a couple times, they take their time talking about Torrey Pines in the huddle, but then center gets his hands on the ball. Everybody else runs up to the line of scrimmage, and sometimes they delay the snap. And they've gotten you to jump off sides quite a few times.
And off far side, Galuzzi. And Galuzzi is going to take it close to the first down marker. It looks like he got it.
When you look at everybody's numbers coming into this game, Hine had rushed for over 300 yards. You had O'Brien over 400 yards. Bingham over 500 yards. Galuzzi 71 yards. But boy, you can see the big play potential of the junior.
Takes it for 11. And gives his team a fresh set of downs at the 41-yard line. Split backfield behind Hine. Hine's going to keep it. Late toss to O'Brien. O'Brien, nice cutback. Dives into Oceanside territory, close to the sticks again. They're making it look really easy, Dale.
Well, you just see all the opportunities that Torrey Pines has, and when you have a leader like Jason Hine, he makes it look so easy. I played at SMU with a quarterback named Lance McElhaney, and we ran the veer option with Dickerson and James, and he made it look about as easy as Jason Hine did, but it's really, really difficult to do.
Hine, for a change of pace, is going to throw it, pass complete, and another first down for the Falcons inside the Oceanside 40. You saw O'Brien there averaging 12.5 yards a carry, 10 for 126. That pass completion goes to Luke Michaelajewski.
Boy, if you can just throw the ball a little bit with this offense and keep that defense so off balance, because you're selling out to stop this wing T, and then all of a sudden you get a pass thrown on you and they complete it.
And off right side. O'Brien cuts back, heading now far side of the field. Breaking tackles, and he's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. We also have a penalty marker down at the end of the play. So hold that touchdown celebration for just a moment.
Yeah, that's why it's a...
Illegal use of the hands against Torrey Pines.
And you could hear Coach Gladnick saying it was 30 yards away from the play.
It was well done by our parabolic mic down on the field. Way to pick that up.
Now, the one thing you learn as an offensive lineman, if the running back's ahead of you, don't do anything that could have an official throw a flag. Don't want to leave it in their hands.
That's not how Jacob Robb wanted to get on TV. Instead, it will be first down. The Falcons will actually gain 2 yards ultimately out of the play as it's run off from the spot of the penalty. They're going to get a first down on this next carry, as that'll be Bingham taking it inside the 25-yard line down to the 24.
On that touchdown run, what I noticed is you can see fatigue setting in on this Oceanside defense. Tackles they were making in the first half are now turning into arm tackles, and you are not going to arm tackle any of these ball carriers for Torrey Pines.
High up to the line. Second guy through is going to be O'Brien. He'll be tackled from the backside. Nice hustle coming in the back of the play by Johnny Egler. But another first down for the Falcons.
It's counter, and you hear counter, and every team has counter in their offense, but the way they run counter is all the motion. Everybody in the backfield is going to the left, except for the slot guys coming back underneath to the right. You're pulling offensive linemen, and there's a gigantic hole.
Ball's at the 12-yard line. Got a marker down. We've got Bingham with the football. He's going to be stacked up inside the 10.
Oh, and he went low. Blocking below the waist over here.
Gordon down on the sidelines got something for us. Gordon?
Hey, Jeff, we've been tracking that modern-day St. John Bosco game, one of the big games in Southern California, one of the big games in the state. Of course, modern-day #1 in Orange County in the Trinity League. Boy, one of the best leagues, arguably, in the state. Modern Day up on St. John Bosco, 28-21 at half. JT Daniels, the Modern Day quarterback, 258 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 periods of play.
Boy, Modern Day keeps this up. They're going to be on a collision course with De La Salle for a state championship game, as inevitably the Spartans come out of the northern part of the state every year. That'll be an outstanding game. But Modern Day's got to work their way through the rest of the Trinity League, which is no easy feat. Meanwhile, that penalty against the Falcons is going to push them back to the 28-yard line. First down, and Hine looking to throw. Pitch and go left, now rolling right, running out of time, running out of room. He's going to tuck it away and run inside the 20, down around the 18-yard line. But once again, you see some tired feet on the part of Oceanside. Had him lined up, couldn't get a hit on it.
Well, you see some tired feet, but you also see amazing athletic ability by Jason Hine. Looked like he's going to pull the trigger here, pulls it down, getting chased. Seems like he's going to throw it away, sees an opening, cuts back across the grain, and has a sizable gain on the play.
Second down and long. Here we go, O'Brien running left, going to cut to the middle of the field. He'll be tackled inside the 15-yard line. So a third and long situation coming up for the Falcons.
Had a great collision there with Jonathan Egler, the middle linebacker for Oceanside, 5'11", 170-pound junior, number 9. Still able to get from hash mark to hash mark, playing awful physical. You can see how winded he is here as his third quarter starts to wind down.
Coming down to the 1-minute mark of the third. A third and 11 situation for the Falcons. Running right-hand side. O'Brien again will be tackled at the 10. Nice pursuit by the Pirates. Getting in there to make the hit was Hunter Stowe. Furious Andrade also in on the tackle.
Well, I love Furious Andrade. And his middle name is Knowledge.
Yes.
What a great name.
We've got 2 players, Furious Knowledge Andrade for the Pirates. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, Leo Spadell has 13 names on his birth certificate. We didn't get all of them, but they finally just nicknamed him Butters. Here's a field goal try for the Falcons. That kick is up, and it is good. From 27 yards out to extend the Falcons' lead to 30-0 over the Oceanside Pirates. Game time on YurView, and it has been all game time for Torrey Pines tonight. A nice drive culminating in a field goal opportunity.
You can just see how disciplined this football team, as I mentioned there in the first half, from warm-ups to the football game. They're not going to beat themselves. They're going to force you to beat them. Come up and hit you and like to dish out some punishment when they're running the football.
Torrey Pines has scored every time they've touched the football tonight, except for once. And that's when they ran out of time at the end of the first half. Michael Perrone on your screen there, the senior, out with a pulled hamstring tonight, but one of the best offensive and defensive linemen on this Torrey Pines team. But they haven't needed him really this evening. It's been a good evening for him to rest his leg.
Well, it's a good evening to get healthy for the stretch run, and as you mentioned, their best offensive lineman.
Bryant kicking off, and he's going to sail this one over York's head into the end zone for a touchdown.
Hey, Tanner! Great job, Tanner!
Where the Pirates have not had very good field position tonight. Their best starting field position, their own 38-yard line, but the 20, the 13, their own 23, and now they're 20 again. Torrey Pines is winning the field position battle.
The other thing you notice about Torrey Pines, they don't turn the ball over. So they don't give you a whole lot of short fields. And when they punt the ball, they do that. well enough to flip field position.
Beecham on first down, going to roll right. Now he's going to jump pass and get a first down. Great athletic play by Beecham. Taking a hit, jumps in the air and completes the pass. Catch made by Malachi Tuua.
Well, he takes another big hit. Logan Chalgren, 6'1", 220-pound junior defensive lineman, hit him just as he did that little jump pass.
And Oceanside getting the first down. They're just going to let the clock wind down here. So there they finally start the clock. 30-0. Torrey Pines lead over Oceanside here on Game Time. Start of the fourth quarter coming up right after this.
Guys, like, you know, we need the city of San Diego because they're gonna make us great. Everything that we're gonna do is everything that we would have loved to receive when we were playing football. And that's what we're gonna give them. So we make sure that the next American soccer player is like top of the world. Did you hear who's coming?
There's an easier way to watch live TV away from your home. Get the Contour app from Cox. Now, one simple app gives you the freedom to watch many of your Cox TV favorites on your phone, tablet, or laptop, wherever you want. So you can take your TV with you without taking your TV. The Contour app. Get right to the good stuff. Anywhere.
James, we both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1. Devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2. Homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
It's been all Torrey Pines here on homecoming night. They lead it 30-0. And have scored just about every single time they've touched the football. Jeff Kurtz alongside Dale Hellestray. It's game night. Game time on YurView.
I can tell you what, though, Jeff. It must be throwback night. It's got to be disco themed. Prom tonight or homecoming and Saturday Night Fever. That's back in my heyday.
Gonna shake off the bell bottoms after this game's over, Dale, as a catch by Oceanside. Far side Facili back in the game. He went out with an injury defensively, but he's back in offensively, makes the catch, gets the first down for the Pirates.
Again, I think that you're going to see this Oceanside offense continue to improve as this season goes along. A really nice catch by Facili.
Oceanside not going to hurry up as Beecham is going to keep it. The ball is poked out by the Falcons. Scramble for the football, and Torrey Pines has it. First turnover of the game. The Falcons recover the football in Oceanside territory at the Pirates' 43-yard line.
And just as I say that, the things that have really plagued them this evening are things that they can control. And, and that's something that we saw earlier in the game. Ball not wrapped up. Hand gets in there, knocks the ball loose, and then a bunch of dark jerseys around the football.
Connor Nichols punched that one out, and Sebastian Carpenter with the recovery. Look at those numbers for the Torrey Pines offense. 328 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns.
And remember, we're just starting the fourth quarter.
Torrey Pines up 30-0 with the football. Their best field position of the game for a drive. And this first carry is going to end up in a loss of yardage.
I wonder if the running backs ever go back and say, hey, why did you hand it off to me for crying out loud? There was no hole there. Come on, Jason.
Mahalanik with his first carry, and I think he's regretting it. Loss of 1. And a new quarterback in the game for the Falcons. That is Chris Temby, a senior, getting some playing time. And off running left-hand side. We're starting to see a host of new ball carriers for the Falcons. That run is going to go to Caleb Jackson. There was Mahalanik, who had the carry on first down. Now 3rd and 10 coming up.
Well, and obviously as you watch this fourth quarter unfold, I think you're going to get more of an appreciation for Jason Hine and how smoothly he runs this offense. But, you know, you got to get some other guys in there and get some playing time for them in case you need them.
Handoff up the middle. This is going to be taken inside the 40-yard line down to the 38. That carry is going to go to Nick Pauley, who had 13 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown coming into the game today. 4th and 5. Here's where Torrey Pines really can take their time. Coach Gladnick described it as we're really slow getting up out of the play before walk back to the huddle, take our time. Then we are all rapid fire once we break the huddle. The pass, incomplete. Temby trying to get that one to Connor Munoz, and a turnover on downs. The ball back to the Pirates.
Well, it's always so hard when you're sitting here and you're Ron Gladnick and you got all your backups in and backup quarterback who hasn't thrown many passes, and you say, hey, we got to get him a couple reps, a couple game time reps. And then other people say, well, you're running up the score and all that. All you can do is make sure everybody gets to play.
And Alex Miller now into the game. Senior quarterback for Oceanside, who's been running the offense prior to today's game. He's going to throw on first down and throw incomplete. I'll go back to that play a moment ago that was incomplete to Munoz. That was a good call by our officiating crew because Munoz did a nice job catching it, but the ball just hit the turf as he was bringing it down. We would have been looking at on NFL replay for a while. That would have been a 5-minute delay at least if someone had thrown a challenge flag there on that one. Good to see Miller back out there, though. See if he can get something going with this Oceanside offense. At least get some points on the board for the Pirates before the end of this game. 5 wide for Miller, 3 to the far side. Looking left, throwing left. Pass complete to Dewson. Short yardage across the 40.
Well, when you're a team when we talked to David Rodriguez, they've just kind of morphed into a bunch of different things offensively. And, in my mind, it's always been a good coach adapts to his players. It's not, hey, I run the run and shoot, and, well, you don't got a quarterback who can run the run and shoot. Well, I run the run and shoot. You have to adapt to the talents of your players.
Here is a pass. It's going to be incomplete to Dewson. 4th and 7. Well, and especially when you're a public school, you really don't know who's going to walk in through your front door every year. And you're at the mercy of the freshman class that walks into your hallway. And if you don't adapt, you're probably going to move on as a head coach at the high school level. Punting unit out there. Solberg fields that one like a shortstop and gets the kick away. And going to roll out of bounds near the Torrey Pines 30-yard line at the 31. Solberg coming in just shy of 30 yards a kick along with 48 this season. That punt was a 28-yarder.
Well, and if he's had to be fielding snaps like that all year, that's a heck of a year. Able to concentrate on, I've actually seen high school punters when snaps don't get back there, miss the ball when they're trying to kick it.
Yeah, good concentration to field those. You never know which way the pigskin's going to bounce. As Torrey Pines taking their time, getting out for the play. They take over at their own 31-yard line, leading 30-0 with 8:43 to go. Handoff running right. This is Galuzzi. Galuzzi is going to get stacked up forward progress at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, the thing that's just, it's really impressive. All these running backs, Galuzzi right there, but they do not go down on first contact. And they continue to fight and scratch and claw for every yard that they can get.
One of the things that Coach Gladnick said that really struck me when we were talking to him during the week is he said, we are the least athletic team in the Avocado League. But we're a really smart team, and so we can do more complicated things on offense and defense because the kids are so sharp. And I thought that was an interesting comment on the team, especially given some of the players that he has, like Bingham and O'Brien and Hine. Those kids look pretty athletic to me, Dale.
Well, they are very athletic, and I think he's probably just, you know, very few coaches come out and say, hey, you know what, we're really, really good. You know what, kind of downplay it a little bit, and he did mention that about how smart this football team is, and again, to run this type of offense with guys going every which direction and misdirection and actually not running to each other coming out of the huddle.
Well, maybe comparing against some of the other teams in the Avocado League, like Mission Hills, La Costa Canyon, and others. We've got an official time.
What's going on?
Let's go down to Gordon on the field, talk a little bit more about that Avocado League, amongst other things. Gordon?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. You know, heavy hearts over there at Oceanside High School still. Students, faculty, and the football team still mourning the loss of his assistant coach, Pulu Ueli, who passed away way too young in 2016. Coach Pulu, as he was called, was an Oceanside alum who played collegiately at Arizona and with 3 NFL teams, including the Chargers. He was a relative of Junior Seau and was revered around the Oceanside campus for his engaging personality and ability to connect with students. They hashtag it Pulu Strong.
Demby's going to take it around the right side and pick up a first down. That is a huge loss for the community, especially coming on the heels of Junior Seau's passing. That has been a tough 1-2 punch up there.
I'm sure it has been tough on that entire community.
Demby's going to take it out to the 43-yard line. First and 10, but yeah, the coaching staff, Coach Rodriguez definitely talked about that during the week. But he's had a lot of guys who've been picking up the slack. Robert Thomas, former NFL linebacker with the Rams, the defensive coordinator for the Pirates. Run by Nick Pauley up the middle. We'll bring up a second down and short.
They talk about Robert Thomas, former first-round draft pick, All-Pro. You see some good signs in this Oceanside football team. They're still out there fighting. They got some good players. I think with Beecham, they found something.
Well, it's a very proud and long winning tradition at Oceanside High School. And they play in a very tough league. This is uncharacteristic of the Oceanside Pirates team, at least the record so far this year. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, John Carroll won 13 section titles, and you could pretty much pencil in Oceanside every year to a D2 championship game to face the Helix Highlanders. That was year in and year out here in the San Diego section for a long time. And then they moved to a more competitive equity situation in the San Diego section. As we talked about, as Gordon talked about earlier in the game, top 8 teams in D1 moved to the Open Division. The rest go into Division I, so Oceanside could still make some noise in the playoffs, even if the league record for them this year is not up to their usual standard.
Yeah, that's a very unique way of doing the playoffs. You know, living in Arizona and spending time in Texas and watching the way they do playoffs. Every state seems to have a unique way of doing it, but I've never heard of the way San Diego or California does it.
Yeah, and it varies section to section. Then you win your section, you can advance to the state level. There are 13 state championship games in California. 13.
I guess that shouldn't be a surprise. I believe there's 5 or 6 in Arizona, and what's Arizona? About a sixth the size of California?
Close to 1,500 high schools here in the state of California. As timeout is going to be called by Torrey Pines. They're first with 4:18 remaining in the game. And a comfortable margin here for the Falcons. Let's take a look at our hot players of the week. And there are a number of them. Ricky Slade, look at those numbers. 353 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. I can't even do that in Madden. Grayson Trammell, 602 yards passing and 4 TDs. JT Daniels against Santa Margarita, 6 touchdowns, no picks, 362 yards passing. And then Drake Anderson at Chandler, Arizona, 237 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Compared to Ricky Slade, that's almost pedestrian, yet that's an outstanding football game for Drake Anderson.
Amazing the numbers some of these players are able to put up on Friday nights.
For that game, Trammell with those over 600 yards passing. Hard to believe, but they came out on the losing end of that ball game. Well, if you told the head coach you're going to get over 600 yards passing at the beginning of the game, what are your odds? I think you'd say pretty good.
I think you like him.
Here's a handoff left-hand side for the Falcons. Bouncing off tacklers and getting smothered inside the 40-yard line on that carry is Jackson. Third and about 5.
I'm very impressed watching these Pirates run around on defense. Fun to watch them. They have not given up. They don't want to give up another score before this game ends.
Well, when the coaches said every game is a playoff game and a playoff level atmosphere in the Avocado League, it may not be reflected on the scoreboard here, but they are accurate. Handoff here. I'll talk about the schedule for Torrey Pines in just a moment. This is going to be a first down for the Falcons as we hit the 3:30 mark of the fourth quarter. Torrey Pines is at Carlsbad next week. They're home against Mission Hills, and then they round out against longtime rival La Costa Canyon. Carlsbad, no slouch this year. They got a lot of playmakers there. Mission Hills, a number of D1 players on their roster, and La Costa Canyon the same. So Torrey Pines really needed this win tonight to keep pace in the Avocado League and set themselves up down the road, because there is not an easy game remaining on their schedule at all. Fresh set of downs for the Falcons. Here is a handoff. It's going to be stopped at the Oceanside 26-yard line. Nice carry there, absorbing a couple of hits. Cole Mahalanek.
Getting some playing time. Physical runner. You're right, but hey, this Oceanside defense, they're still coming up and being physical at the point of attack. You can just tell they've been worn down as this game has gone along.
And now with some of their second team in, William Tuisea in there, the junior at 6'1", 350 pounds. Number 73, lining up at right tackle this time. Here's a nice tackle in the backfield by the Pirates. Nice job coming up. Randy Tuatasi with the tackle there. You know, and it'd be easy to mail it in at this point, too, if you're a Oceanside player and just go through the motions here in the final 2 minutes, but these kids are still attacking.
They're attacking. You see Tuatasi there, the 200-pound senior, getting penetration across the line of scrimmage and making the play. Yeah, they all have pride. They all have pride. They're all tired, but they're all saying right now, we don't want to let them in the end zone one more time.
Third down and 8 for the Falcons. Debbie on a sweep right side, gave it to Galuzzi, who will take it down inside the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down. I would suspect Torrey Pines is going to go for it here, not because they're trying to rub it in, but just because they can hang on to the football and then take a knee.
That is, I'm sure, what their strategy is right here.
Folks, stay tuned for the postgame show here on Game Time on YurView. They'll now recap all the action from this one. Wrap up our coverage here tonight, as this is a handoff that's going to give the Falcons yet another 1st down and put the finishing touches on a shutout victory here on homecoming night at Torrey Pines High School.
You know, a lot of coaches worry about homecoming games. There's a lot of distractions. Where's the 16, 17, 18-year-old kid's mind? Is it on the dance? Is it on, hey, I'm up for homecoming king? You know, those kind of things. There's just so many things that can transpire on a homecoming game night.
Demby taking a knee. And that is going to do it here from Torrey Pines High School. Well, it'll be interesting to see what Gordon gets from Coach Gladnick in the postgame. He's going to have an interview with him in just a few moments. And we'll have an interview. Gordon will have an interview with our player of the game from the victorious Torrey Pines Falcons, as the Falcons move to 5-2 on the year and 2-1 in Avocado League play. A 30-0 win over the Oceanside Pirates. Back with more of the postgame after this.
Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you could, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
There's an easier way to watch live TV away from your home. Get the Contour app from Cox. Now, one simple app gives you the freedom to watch many of your Cox TV favorites on your phone, tablet, or laptop, wherever you want. So you can take your TV with you without taking your TV. The Contour app. Get right to the good stuff. Anywhere.
James, we both have the same Cox high-speed internet. However, our speeds may not be identical because 1, devices you're not using are still connected to the internet. Disconnect them. Your Wi-Fi strengthens. 2, homes with the strongest Wi-Fi have a router positioned where Wi-Fi is used the most. And for you, it's by your oven, due to your hilarious cooking videos.
Just clean up later.
Free Wi-Fi tips because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
That is a happy group of Falcons down there on the field. 30-0 winners, pitching a shutout against Oceanside tonight. A great evening for homecoming here at Torrey Pines High School as Coach Gladnick, final comments to his team down there. Let's go down to our player of the game. It's Sully O'Brien is our player of the game. And O'Brien had an outstanding game in this one.
Just so dynamic, can run inside, can run outside. You see the speed. And again, I pointed out during the game, these guys are not afraid of contact. Good blocking, the offensive line, receivers take pride in their blocking downfield.
14 carries for 158 yards and a touchdown. That's a pretty good evening's worth of work.
He looks pretty ho-hum about it. Said, hey, might as well go to the dance. Saturday Night Live. Wonder if he's going to dress up like John Travolta or something.
He looks pretty fresh. We'll be back with Coach Gladnick. See what his thoughts are on tonight's game. Back after.
You know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We could find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Final score here at Torrey Pines High School, 30-0. The Falcons win it, and Gordon Spencer is caught up with Coach Gladnick, who's got to be pretty pleased with the end result tonight. Gordon?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. Coach Gladnick, you mentioned during the week, boy, if you wanted distractions, this was the week. You had homecoming and all the other preparations, but you guys were pretty focused tonight.
Yeah, I'm very proud of our guys. You know, we came into the game with specific objectives. We wanted to get our inside running game going again, and our offensive line focused on that all week. You know, I felt like we really executed well. Defensively, we knew number 4 was going to be an incredible athlete, and I feel like our guys did, you know, they moved the ball between the 20s, but when we got down into the red zone, we really did a good job of doing the things we needed to do to stop them.
How important was this game as you guys move forward? I mean, the talk in this league is every game is a playoff game.
It is, and, you know, now we have 3 more games to go. We control our own destiny. If we win those games, we're Avocado League champs. So, you know, as you get later and later in the season, you want to be in a position where you can control your own destiny, and that's where we are.
Congratulations once again. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's talk to Louis Bickett, outstanding linebacker tonight for you. Oceanside put up a good fight, but you guys held them off and got the shutout.
Yeah, we just pretty much prepared super well at practice. We all working hard. We knew our assignments, and we executed very well.
What was it like? This is homecoming, a lot of festivities around it, where you guys obviously look pretty focused.
Yeah, it's hard to stay focused, especially all the powder and stuff for the homecoming, but we all dialed in and played really well.
How important was this win for you guys here at home tonight?
Really important. Oceanside's a great team, really good football team year-round, and it just meant a lot to all of us to win this game.
Congratulations, Louis, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Let's go back upstairs to Jeff.
Well, I hope that young man enjoys the homecoming dance after this. They certainly deserved it tonight with a 30-0 win. Well, folks, we heard from Louis Bickett. We heard from Coach Gladnick. Let's take a look at our final stats. 30-0 the final score. Torrey Pines now 5-2 on the year. Oceanside 2-5, and that rushing yardage, wow, 3-1 over the Pirates in terms of rushing yards. And those penalties were really key for Oceanside in the first half. They only had 2 in the second half, but 8 in the first half were a real killer for them. Mac Bingham, 10 carries, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Kyron Beecham had a good game, 17 carries for 105 yards, but as Coach Gladnick mentioned, it was a bend but don't break defense for Torrey Pines tonight. Oceanside did a lot of moving the ball between the 20-yard lines, but they were unable to punch it into the end zone. Really didn't even sniff the end zone and had 1 missed field goal in the game.
Well, like you said, and we mentioned it during the game, they did move the ball. That there was some good things Oceanside did offensively, but they were not able to move the ball inside the 20-yard line.
Well, let's take a look at our game next week, and it should be a dandy as we move our coverage into the middle of the country. Our next Game Time National Game of the Week on YurView is next Thursday, October 19th, when the Page Sandites and the Washington Hornets battle it out in a 6A2 District 2 matchup from Oklahoma. Washington has won 4 straight in dominating fashion after a Week 3 slip-up, while Page has won their last 4 after starting the season 0-2. So you'll want to tune into that one here on YurView next Thursday night for the Game Time National Game of the Week. Well, there are a lot of people who make these broadcasts possible week in and week out, and our crew here in San Diego has been nothing short of fantastic. I'd like to thank Rich Reed running the production and our crew who've been out here since earlier on this afternoon, laying cable and taking care of us when Dale and I show up. We've got the easy job. We just need to talk here a little bit and describe the action. Those are the folks that are bringing all the video into your home every week. Crews across the country here on Game Time on YurView, and they do a lot of great work. So thanks to all of them for all the video here tonight, all the sound from Torrey Pines High School. 30-0, the Falcons over the Pirates. Game Time on YurView, production of Cox.
Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you could, like, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
Game Time on YurView. Sand Springs versus Booker T. Washington live Thursday night. Check local listings or YurView.com for game times.